Hey you guys, I keep saying that this is going to be my last video and it just somehow never ends up being my last video of interview with the pygmy. But I give Louis a lot of heat because he's her parent, so I like to hold Louis responsible. But when it comes to Claudia, I'm just going to be honest, Claudia is very arrogant. It seems like after Lestat, after she won that chess game with Lestat, she feels like she's the master now, or that she's in running things now, and that she could pull the same shit that she pulled with Lestat on every other vampire she comes across. I don't know where she thinks that, but it's almost like she all of a sudden she thinks that I blocked my mind and I could think of something. She thinks she's like some fucking superhero Wonder Woman. And I'm just like, you are one of the youngest vampire here. You're older than Santiago, but you are one of the youngest vampires here, and you're weaker, physically weaker than everybody else. Louis decided to stay around for Claudia, but Claudia did want to be a part of the coven. She talked about, I just feel so much vampire pride. She wanted a sense of place. She wanted to belong, but Louis was absolutely right, and Louis did fucking warn her. He said that Lestat's painting was hanging on the wall. They're more experienced than us. They know things that we don't know. And Claudia has been really arrogant. After that chess match with Lestat, she feels like every vampire is Lestat. And she fails to realize that Lestat was your parent. Like, as kids, we know our parent more than everybody else. Lestat really went easy on Claudia. I'm not even going to hold you. Lestat would have got rid of Claudia if need be, but I don't know. They kind of had like this stepmother, the evil stepmother and child dynamic. You know what I mean? But the only time I ever saw Lestat get violent with Claudia was when Claudia tried to physically take away Louis. Right? Like after she got home, after she abandoned them for 7 years, she came back, and that's when shit got violent. But all this time, Lestat has put up with her disrespect. He has put up with her sly remarks. He still was paying all the bills. He still was dressing her, taking care of her, making sure she fed. So even when he was over there with Antoinette, he was still taking care of them, and he still tried to make up to both of them. Was Lestat shitty? Absolutely. Was he abusive? Absolutely. But she has to realize that everybody is not Lestat. Everybody is not your parent. Just because Lestat was able to put up with your bullshit and y'all were just able to coexist doesn't mean that Armand's gonna do that stupid ass shit. You're not his child. He choked you up the first time you started acting out of character. And then you're still over here. The rules were we don't document anything. And you're literally at the coven documenting shit that you don't have no business documenting in your journal. That's why Santiago was like, shit, well, if she's documenting this, she must have more shit that she's documenting at the house. And then she gonna let him. He read her journal without even moving. He was able to read it without, he was moving so fast that she didn't even see that he read it. You know what I mean? And yeah, she did want Louis to date and get over Lestat and be with Armand and all that other stuff, but she didn't know that he was just going to be a complete pick-me and a complete forget all about her. Like, what really was shocking to me, it was like, you knew Claudia for 60 years. Claudia was your daughter for 60 years, you and Lestat. And you only knew Armand for what, 2 years? And you believe Armand over your own child. And I do feel like Louis is still resentful of the fact that she left him the first time, which it was like, you chose the coven over me. You left first. You know what I mean? I feel like Claudia is a little jealous of Louis because Louis is getting all this special treatment. It's always Louis. Even though he don't want to be a part of it, he's getting special treatment. He's able to find love. And you know, in the first season, she did say, like, who's gonna fuck me? You know what I mean? I saw a lot of people really liking the play that Delaney was doing, well, Claudia was doing on stage. And I was just like, that shit was so unsettling to me. Am I the only one who hated her doing that fucking play? I liked nothing about it. And I didn't go into detail about it. It felt like a minstrel show. Like, I shit you not. Like, she was tap dancing. She was acting like a buffoon. And then she was doing this for this white audience. And it was just like she was flapping her wings, acting like a fucking retard. And then it's like the
new messages received from Dad.
And then it's like the influence. How do you pronounce it? The babynizing of her, like, because this is the 60-year-old woman who is forced to act like an infant on stage, and it's just really unsettling. And I talked about how Louis knows Claudia more, so that made him feel uncomfortable. Because the whole play is about, baby Lulu is about a baby that's getting abused by her caregivers, right? And she pretends like she's a bird. She wants to be a bird. She's flapping her wings. She's laying eggs. And then she jumps out of a window and she dies. So it's a foreshadowing of Claudia getting abused by Louis and Lestat. Yes, Louis is also her abuser. And the moment she gets a real taste of freedom, she dies, right? As soon as she feels like she can touch freedom, she falls to her death. Now, there's also layers to this. Now, I don't know if they're reading both Louis and Claudia's mind, but Louis looked really uncomfortable, and I got flashbacks to Paul. Remember, Paul, Louis' brother in the first season, kept saying that the birds were talking to him. The birds were whispering. The birds told him this. And then remember, he watched his brother fall to his death. Almost like he was trying to fly to freedom and then died. The same way Claudia died in that play. So he's essentially watching another sibling reenact that type of trauma, that type of suicide. And I think that is so crazy. And then the picture that I have on the screen, when she's like voicing her frustrations to Armand, she looks over at Louis for like, Daddy, are you going to say something? And Louis is in this weird position where he just continues to read his book. He's like, no, you wanted this. You wanted to do this. But I do like how he checks Armand later in that episode. I thought that was like really okay. But you know, I can't really rely too much on Louis for shit. Y'all know how I feel about Louis. But, yeah, like, you know, Santiago stood up for her in that moment. But Louis couldn't say anything because Louis not a part of the fucking coven. He's not even supposed to be there. But, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then, you know, Claudia is just very, very arrogant. She's very arrogant. And that is one of her biggest downfalls. Like, she claims that she's just so smart and she's so this, she's so that, but she can't see anything in front of her. And then Santiago said, who taught you how to lie? And she says her maker, and he's basically said, you better keep practicing. That doesn't ring alarms in your head that Santiago said that you talked about Estelle and Celeste bullying you, but Santiago's fucking both Estelle and Celeste. Like, it's a lot. Like, this is a lot, and the show should be called Everybody Loves Louis, because that's what it is. Everybody gives Louis this pass, but I'm not, you know, Claudia's not perfect, but it's hard for me to really hold her accountable the way she needs to be held, because she should have never been in that body in the first place. Louis should have took her to a hospital. She has teenage hormones. Her brain is stunted. So it's too much. It's too much. Y'all tell me what y'all think.